Okay, great. Thank you. I'm going to call the responsive ed Texas uh, the charters for Texas College Preparatory Academies, Premier High Schools and Texas Works board meeting to order. Today is Thursday, September 11th, and the time is 6:52 p.m. Quorum is present. Ben Klingenstein, Ken Sparks, Dr. Lisa Bowen, Rick Fengler, and Chuck Cook are all present in the meeting. And so this meeting has been duly called and notice of the meeting was posted as required by law, which I didn't put in the last one. There, I didn't make that last statement. So I don't know. Is that a big deal? All right. So anybody here for public comment for the Texas charters?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. That's good. All right. Thank you. So then anything on the consent items that we want to change, adjust, have conversation about?
No, sir. We're good and asking for approval on consent items 1 through 13.
Okay. All right. Do I hear a motion to approve consent items 1 through 13 as described in C of the agenda?
I'll make the motion, Ben, to approve consent agenda items 1 through 13.
Thank you, Rick. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kent. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. The
Aye.
consent items pass unanimously and are approved. All right, and so we're gonna go to separate items. There are 2 separate items on the agenda. First one, consider the use of state federal funds for the purchase of Bright Thinker curriculum.
This is, as you can see, a related parties transaction that's on the agenda here. And I want to make sure, because there's related parties, I want to make sure that you approve the use of these funds separate and apart from just your general approval of the budget. So Joe is here. He is prepared to discuss. So I'm going to turn it over to Joe.
Thank you, Chuck. I just want to take a few moments and a few slides to discuss this topic. First slide, I just want to make it abundantly clear that what we're talking about today, there's no change in the budget. That slide was presented in our June board meeting, was approved. The Bright Thinker curriculum was included in the expenses of that budget. So once again, no changes to budget. This is just a disclosure. If you could please flip to the next slide. So Bright Thinker, it is an affiliated company to Responsive Ed Texas under the Responsive Ed umbrella. They sell curriculum. Historically, also we do disclose transactions between Texas and Bright Thinker in our public audits. We will continue to do so this year. Last board meeting, we disclosed our CMO payments to Blue Learning, our admin fees to the 501c3, and we even disclosed $30,000 in payments to Book Drive for Kids. But I neglected to disclose the Bright Thinker amounts. Those are $404,000 for TCPA and $596,000 for PHS. Just as a reminder, the curriculum was sold from Texas, some time ago, and as part of that agreement, we are buying that curriculum back at a discounted rate. But those amounts are from an affiliated company, and they were inherent in the budget that was approved in June, and just making sure those are disclosed accordingly.
A couple of years ago, when Responsive Ed Texas sold the curriculum to Responsive Ed, was the amount $6 million?
$6 million.
$6 million is what we received for the Bright Thinker product. And again, as Joe said, one of the agreements was that we would get Texas would get a discount from Bright Thinker on curriculum for the first 3 years, I think, and then it goes to cost. What we are doing right now, Bright Thinker is charging cost. James, if you know this to be different, speak up. But my understanding is we're charging cost, which is pretty expensive, just print cost. And we're not charging anything on the profit. There's no profit built into what Bright Thinker is charging Responsive Ed Texas.
And if I recall correctly, the 6 million figure was derived at with the assistance of a valuation.
Independent valuation is correct.
Any more slides or is that covered?
So we were asking for approval today, and I will recuse myself. I am not paid from Bright Thinker, but I'm CEO of Bright Thinker. James Taylor is CFO of Bright Thinker, so I'm recusing myself from the vote. But it's a related party, which is why we're bringing it to you for consideration today.
Right. And the only part of this motion is that last piece, which is the Bright Thinker. It's not the other stuff that was listed. above
Correct.
that.
It's just that was included in the budget as presented
Yeah.
in June.
I just want to reiterate that because I would recuse myself from the book drive for kids stuff as well. So, right. Do I hear a motion to approve the use of state and federal funds for the purchase of Bright Thinker curriculum, which was just discussed and described?
Yep, so made.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second, Ben.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. It passes unanimously with one abstention from the approval with Chuck.
Chuck abstained.
Yep. So the motion passes unanimously. On to the second one. Consider approving new and updated board policies, Chris, which I think you've got. And you go at whatever pace you need to, but
I appreciate
keep
that.
in mind, we took
Thank
it
you,
as
sir.
read.
Well, here's what I have as the lead in then. So all of the policies that you've been asked to approve have been included in your folders. You had a chance to review those. I think what would be most interesting to know is that all the policies that you have in front of you were required by the legislation that was passed this last legislative session. So it's not something that's new, it's innovative, it's something that we did what was required by law. So to go briefly through this, Senate Bill 12, Board Policy 1.206, governing body of the charter school must develop a policy that satisfies the requirements of 260071. Parental engagement, really what that required of us and the policy describes is we need to develop an internet portal to receive parent comments, prioritize parent comments at the beginning of the board meetings, and hold board meetings outside of typical work hours, which you're seeing in action tonight.
Success.
Success, done. Next one, DEI prohibition. 2 pieces of legislation passed, hence 2 policies have now been put before you for consideration. 4.212, an ISD Board of Trustees governing body of a charter school must adopt a policy in accordance with 11005, addressing the discipline of an employee or contractor who engages in or assigns to another person DEI practices or duties. The second one, 4.213, a governing body of a charter school must adopt a policy in accordance with 22.0022, prohibiting certain DEI discussions or activities in the educational setting. Nothing, we've not added anything to the policy. It's not required by the statute. Policy 3.321 deals with the school health advisory councils that we must establish, appoint members to that council to help direct the health educational instruction in alignment with 28.004. What that council will do, it'll make recommendations to the board regarding topics like, as it says here, recess, mental health, etc. What it also does, it requires certain parental consent requirements. Any participation by students in clubs requires parental consent. Consent required for, quote, health-related services. Right now, it's broadly defined. We're waiting for TEA rules to further define that, narrow the scope of that. And then consent is required for well-being questionnaires and surveys. Good cause exception renewal, the policy that you have in the folder 1.406. Upon the first anniversary of the date in which the good cause exception was claimed, which we have done here with this board, for the purposes of armed security officer requirement, we have to actually renew that good cause exception claim in accordance with 37.0814D-1. Then parental notification of employee misconduct, board policy 4.204. Board of Trustees, ISD, governing body of a charter school, we must adopt a policy to provide notice to the parents or guardians of the impacted student regarding employee misconduct. So if there's ever an allegation of employee misconduct, this just requires what you might think it would require. We need to notify the parents of the student who's impacted. This one did require a little bit of discretion on our part. So we had personal communication device bans, policy 3.404. This was adoption of a written policy that prohibits students from using personal communication devices while on school property during the school day. It's reflected in our handbook. It's also in the policy. What we are proposing is to use a bell-to-bell prohibition in compliance with that new law. And what that means is the students can bring their devices to school, the cell phones, the smartwatches, et cetera, but they need to be able to put them away as directed by the campus administration. It's going to find an application different at each campus depending on resources. They might be in a storage locker. They might have a special area in the admin area, or we might even have specially purchased pouches. It's been in the news a lot, but that'll vary from campus to campus. Next one, policy 3.318. Governing body of a charter school must adopt a policy addressing proper response to concussions sustained by a student on school property or while participating in a non-UIL school-sponsored or related activity. 3.506. This is a policy for us to be able to opt out of allowing a homeschool or non-enrolled student to participate in UIL activities. We're actually proposing that we do allow it. We do permit. Our policy permits the homeschool or non-enrolled students to participate in our UIL activities and sets forth the parameters for eligibility and participation. It also addresses general UIL requirements not previously addressed in our policy. Two other things. These are not policy related. They're not policies in the folder, but just notes on the legislative session. House Bill 6 did change the enrollment eligibility for charter schools. It provided more narrow scope for reasons we can deny someone enrollment at our school. So previously, enrollment disqualification could happen if they had a documented history of a criminal offense, regardless of disposition, a juvenile court adjudication, regardless of disposition, and or disciplinary problems. And that could include, but is not limited to, in-school suspension, out-of-school suspension, and or expulsion from prior schools. Now, with the new legislation, the disqualifications are limited to the following: conduct that is outlined in Chapter 37.006. It's relating to the placement to a DAEP or JJAEP. Conduct outlined in 37.007 relating to expulsion or a conviction of a criminal offense or juvenile court adjudication. Just narrows the scope as far as what we are permitted to deny enrollment for. And then finally, House Bill 8 replaces the existing STAR assessment. It's going to implement another instructionally supportive assessment program. So we'll basically have 3 shorter assessments throughout the academic year, beginning, middle, and end. And that, Chairman, is the overview of the policies that I know are already on your folder.
Great, well done. But just on the start, are they postponing, or are you gonna, are students gonna take the STAR this year, in next?
They will take the STAR this year.
This year.
27, 20.
There you go.
And they've developed the 3 assessments.
Yeah, I was just glad I got the math right, that it's 2 years.
Right.
Sounds good. Okay, great. Any other thoughts, questions? All right, so I'll make a motion to approve the new and updated board policies based on the 89th legislative session that was just described to us. Very well as described to us. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 The motion is approved unanimously, and we approve the new and updated board policies that we discussed. All right, so I believe we now go into closed session. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we do that?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Pursuant to section 551.076, 551.074, and 551.082 of the Texas Government Code, we are authorized to go into closed session. No votes will be taken until we reconvene in open session. Thank you.
We're recording.
Right, we're back in open session. And having finished the closed session discussion, all board members are still present. The time is 7:52 PM. And we have a few motions to make coming out of closed session. So for the first two motions on security, I asked for a motion to approve the submission of the 3-year safety and security audits.
I'll make the motion.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 I guess I gotta do 3. For
That
the
was-
Texas one has a separate item.
Audits.
Also, approve make a motion, I'll make a motion for the submission of the good cause exception for this year. Do I hear a second?
I'll second, Ben.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. And then that passes unanimously as well for the submission of good cause. And for lastly, under security, the third one is I asked for a motion to approve the annual MEOP fall submission. Do I hear a motion?
Make the motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
A motion, all 3 security motions passed unanimously and are approved for the submission. All right, so I'll make 2 motions for that also come out of closed session related to grievances. The first one for the which is the number 3. I'm going to start with number 3 and consider I asked for a motion to uphold the level 3 determination for the parent-student grievance that is listed as E3 on the agenda with the Texas code submitted as well. Do I hear a motion to approve the level 3, to uphold the level 3 grievance?
Yeah, Ben, I'll make the motion that we uphold the level 3 grievance.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 That motion passes unanimously for the level 3 grievance for a parent teacher. I'm sorry, parent-student grievance. For the 2 employee-related grievances, do I hear a motion to approve or to uphold the level 3 determinations for both former employee grievances that were raised in closed session?
I'll make a motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Right, the motion to uphold the level 3 grievance for the 2 employees, separate 2 employees grievances that were submitted and discussed during closed session passes unanimously. Is there anything else to bring before the board?
We have a discussion item here about board meeting dates.
Of dates.
We generally have that on there, talking about dates at our normal Friday 10:30 time. As you know, Texas legislature passed legislation, as Chris mentioned, that required this be after typical work hours. We're still waiting on rules from the Texas Attorney General around open meetings that will come out probably the next 3 months that may clarify some of this, but as you know, tonight, we started at 6:30, so I don't think anybody would question that's outside of typical hours. It may change where we can do it at an earlier time, even so desired. Of course, we could do it on Saturdays, do it Friday nights. I don't know if anybody wants to do either one of those. So I mentioned to you when I called you about this, that we would talk about it here at the meeting if y'all so desire, or I can follow up with you individually and we can talk about it again. I think I've heard from one board member, Delilah, that she has a commitment on Tuesday and Thursday nights. That would be a difficulty for her being here on those Thursday nights. But I will talk to her more about that. Any other thoughts from you as a discussion item? Board members?
I would just wait for the law. If it clarifies we only need to do it once a year, or I don't think we got more parents showing up, whether we're doing it in the day or the evening because of our geographic boundaries.
Yep,
Anything
I
else?
agree. And the only other thing is if, from my perspective, because I travel quite a bit, would more likely than not have to be on Thursdays.
All right, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Meeting is adjourned.
Adjourned at